Maybe you haven't seen one of these since culinary school, but as a reminder, a menu matrix allows you to engineer your menu to maximize profitability. Menu engineering extends all of your food costing work into informed decisions about what actually goes on your menu. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we do food costing. This is real analysis to help you make money. The matrix will categorize your menu items into this quadrant based on popularity and profitability. All you have to do is feed your data into this template. Everything else is automated. Once you do that, your menu items are going to be categorized as a star, plow horse, puzzle, or a dog. Stars are the best. Dogs, not so much. Now, it's important to remember to use the matrix for a focused menu or, a menu section. You don't want to compare dinner items with breakfast items, nor do you want to compare a side of mayo to a steak dinner. In the Food Cost Chef menu matrix, for example, I have a selection of 14 dinner items here, all from the same menu. Okay, to get started, you can download this file at foodcostchef.com, free menu engineering spreadsheet template. It's an Excel file, but you can upload it to Google Sheets if you don't have Excel. The functions will all work on Google Sheets. Some of the coloring and conditional formatting might be slightly different. Once opened, copy the sheet here so you always have the original file to refer to. Now, let me show you the content you need to input to make this your own. Pay attention to these green headers. These are the columns of information you'll need to customize. Right now, you're just looking at made-up data. This template can accommodate up to 20 menu items. If you have more than that in any section of your menu, I'm praying that you're going to get your life in order one day. So under these green headers, you can start by adding your menu items here, your sales numbers go here. And you can get this information from your POS system or some other sales reports, however your company does it. Then you add the menu price and your food cost in dollars. So for example, I can just take one of my recipes, take the food cost dollars and plug it in here. The percentage is going to work out itself. Those 4 data columns are all you need to fill out. Everything else is automated, from food cost percentage to contribution margins. Then all that information just extends into your profitability and popularity scores. Now, depending on what combination each item has in these 2 columns, your menu item grade will appear here in this last column. It's really cool. It's all done for you. Now, if you have more items in your menu than 14, just go to the last item here and copy and paste it below. That will create a new data row and populate the scores for you instantly. Okay, let's have a look up here now. The top row represents your overall food cost, at least theoretical. The popularity mark is how each item sells compared to all the other items. That is reflected in this column. And the average contribution is a measure of how much each item contributes to your bottom line. If it's over the average, it will be high, over here. If it's below average, it will say low. Both of these combined will trigger the menu item grade. If you want to refer to them, the menu item grades are posted below the spreadsheet just for your reference. Okay, so here's a few tips when you're filling out your information. Don't clear all the data to start yours. Just change the values. Like here, I can update, a pasta name and food cost from the Food Cost Chef calculator, then just the sales numbers. So that changed the whole dynamic. You might have noticed this labor column here. It doesn't factor into any automation. I just like to add a labor consideration to each menu item. I give it a score of 1 for low or good labor and 3 for a high labor factor. It just gives me another reference point when considering making any menu changes. The food cost up here is extrapolated from your totals down here. The popularity mark changes when the amount of menu items changes. So if I add 1 menu item here, making it 15 in total, this benchmark for all items changes. Remember, if a menu item is over this number, it gets a high score in the menu mix column. The same goes for contribution margin. The CM, or contribution margin, is how much that menu item adds to your bottom line after cost of goods sold. This is the average contribution margin of all items. If a menu item is below this, it gets a low rank, and above it, it gets a high rank. For both columns, only one of two conditions can exist. Now, if you have additional menus, just copy and make a new tab within the same sheet. Call it something else. Personally, I feel 1 month of sales data is long enough to get a good idea of any issues. For example, this pork tenderloin item here shows low and low, making it a dog on your menu. And it also has an intense labor score. Over a month, it basically sells 3 per day. I mean, that's hard to keep fresh, it's hard to inventory, and likely it's going to result in some spoilage. Numbers like this make the pork dinner a prime candidate for removal or at least re-engineering. One more thing. When you get into your POS data, there is always more information to make this data even more relevant. Yes, we have the number of units, which is most important, but your actual sell price is often skewed by discounts, promotions, staff meals, refunds, etc. For example, my menu price for lasagna is $18.75, but my POS data says I sold 504 for a total of $9,202.55. When I divide that by 504, I get $18.26. That is the menu price I should be working with here. Think of the menu price as theoretical. You have your practical menu price when you factor in your POS adjustments. This is precisely how you stay on top of your food costs. Okay, don't forget, you can download this menu engineering matrix at foodcostchef.com, free menu engineering spreadsheet template. Chefs, I hope that helps. I hope it inspires. Now go cook.